Hello everyone, this is the Hermit, and today we are continuing our journey for connecting with the tarot cards through coloring. So we're using the Tarot Coloring book by Theresa, the 78 Degrees of Wisdom by Rachel Pollack, and the Ultimate Guide to the Rider-Waite Tarot, this book. For the book list, you can obviously see underneath the video. This week we were doing the Chariot card. Yes, the beautiful Chariot card. So, if you did your homework, you actually colored the Chariot card and you read about the Chariot card in the 78 Degrees of Wisdom and in this book. So, if we look at our Chariot card, we see this pattern again that we talked about in the Hierophant and the Lovers, where there's two dualities, two sphinxes of different colors. And this reminds us of the two columns of the High Priestess, of the two people in the Lovers, the two people in the Hierophants. So Rachel Pollack talks about the triangular motif again for this card. Now, if we go to this book, what I highlighted, what was interesting. So first of all, I highlighted the overall summary of the card, which said, the Chariot stands for the experience of one's own personality, which is formed through both conscious effort, the charioteer, and the drives of the unconscious, karma, the story of one's life, the stone chariot. So it's basically your will, your power, but it's also your past experiences and your karma and your life story that influences how you use your will. Then he also has a wand in his hand, which reminds us of the magician. This book tells us about that this could be a sign of magic powers which are with us in all walks of life. So you have some magical powers no matter where you go. Also, the two figures that we can see on his armor, they're in shapes of moons. And this book points out that one moon is laughing and the other one is crying. But to me, when I look at it, I see more one moon that is angry and the other one seems to be smiling. Anyway, so this book tells about the laughing and the crying moon. The Chariot stands for the internal and external experiences that we gather in our path through life and which form our personality. So the ups and downs of life that form our personality. Then if we go to Rachel Pollack's book, so basically if you see here the symbol of Shiva Lingam, so basically you have the nut and the bolt, a wheel and an axle. It's called the Lingam and a Yoni, standing for Shiva, the masculine principle, and Parvati, the feminine principle, united in a single figure. So this indicates that the Chariot has sexual maturity, and his sexual desires and instincts are under his control. If we go also to the 78 Degrees of Wisdom, Rachel Pollack talks about Plato. So before, in others versions of the Chariot, there were two horses instead of sphinxes. So the two horses, we had to make sure they're under control so the Chariot propels forward. And basically Plato refers to the mind as a chariot drawn by a black and a white horse, the exact image on the tarot card. According to Freud, so if we go into the Freud interpretation of horses, it could symbolize sexual energy. So by controlling the horses, he is kind of controlling his sexual energy. Let's look over some of the meanings of the card. So, upright, It could be obviously success, victory. It could be successfully controlling some situation through the force of his or her personality. For an outcome, it could be victory. And if we look at some of the meaning of the reversed card, we could see that it's unsuccessful, so the opposite meaning, and that there's some contradiction. Because you know how we said that we have to be in control of the two horses, of the two sphinxes? Well, basically, reversed, it could mean that you're not in control of the contradiction. So there's some contradictions that gain greater force, and the situation is getting out of control. Alright, so that was a quick summary of the Chariot card, and next week we're gonna talk about strength. Wow. See you all guys next week.